Hey guys, this is Mr. Vicente, and I teach AP Human Geography at Carter High School. And if you're watching this video, it's because you have some interest in taking human geography. And it's a really good opportunity. Up to this point, it's only been offered to freshmen who are in the AP Scholars Program, but starting this year, and hopefully for the foreseeable future, we will be offering it to anyone who wants to take it. And I believe that includes sophomores, juniors, and seniors, as well as maybe even some freshmen who are willing to take a shot. Anyway, so first of all, like I said, there's no prerequisites for AP Human Geography, so anybody can take it. It doesn't fulfill any requirements other than it is an elective, and it fulfills A through G requirements. So if you're concerned about how that'll look on your transcript, it'll look fine. Okay, so AP Human Geography is really interesting. It focuses on a lot of the aspects of social sciences in general, economics, history, politics, all these things that are separate entities in social studies, but it focuses on them through a geography lens. So we're going to be looking at how, where people live and the environment and the conditions and their culture affects the economics and the politics and the history even of everything that makes these people what they are today and how they've grown through time. So it really is an interesting class, and it's really interesting in terms of helping to understand where we are in the world today and why certain things are the way they are in terms, again, of politics, in terms of government, in terms of economics, and in terms of culture, as well as numerous other topics. And really, it's a very interesting class that hopefully you will find interesting as well. It's really interesting to teach, and hopefully it'd be really interesting for you to be in it to learn something. The benefits of taking an AP class are numerous. For you, probably the most important at this point is the fact that it can save you money going to college. Okay, if you pass an AP test with a 3, a 4, or a 5, depending on the school, obviously, that you're going to, you might get college credit. And that ultimately translates into dollars saved, okay? Because you get credits that you don't have to pay for. And obviously, the test is paid for by the district, as it has been for the past few years. So it's really kind of a free opportunity to gain college credit and to, at the same time, learn something that is really pretty interesting. Um, the topics that we cover, like I said, are numerous. There are 7 units in the class, and they range from culture, which includes language and religion and ethnicity. We talk about political organization of states, which is what we normally think of when we think of geography, borders and different countries and ideas like that. We talk about agriculture, how agriculture affects the economy of countries. We talk about how cities are developed within countries, why certain cities in Europe are put together differently than cities in North America or cities in Latin America or cities in Asia or cities in Africa. And we address all those things, really interesting stuff. And then we also look at human development index and how it affects the economy, why certain countries are considered third world countries, other countries are considered first world countries, and what that means and how that um, relates to each other and how the interplay of countries and how they focus on each other um, it leads to these terms that we put out there and these ideas that we use on a daily basis in terms of how countries interact. The AP exam is in May. For AP Human Geography, the AP exam, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it is one of the easier tests. If you look online, any kind of rankings or people talking about them, what makes it interesting is that it's also a fun class to take. So, as an elective, kind of should be. It's fun. The test isn't necessarily difficult as long as you do everything that you're expected to do, and as long as you put some effort into it. While we're on it, let's talk about expectations. What do I expect from you when you come to my class? I expect you to have read, have done the homework. There's not a lot of homework for this class, but there is some on a weekly basis. There's a little bit of reading, there's a little bit of writing, but nothing that's going to take hours on a daily basis. Maybe a couple of hours a week max. So it's relatively an easy load, especially for an AP class. The test is in May, and it consists of multiple choice questions, and it also consists of free response questions in the form of short answer questions. And the short answer questions are pretty straightforward and pretty easy to understand and pretty easy to answer. So if you put effort into it, if you read, if you understand what you're reading, and most of all, if you ask questions to what you don't understand, this class is very passable. Um, if you're wondering if there's a summer project, I wouldn't call it necessarily a summer project, but there will be assignments over the summer that are going to help you be prepared for the class. Mostly traditional geography type assignments like map work and stuff like that, which is going to prepare you for different countries, different ideas, different topics that we're going to be talking about, and they will be fresh in your mind. Um, we do have a Google Classroom already set up, and there is a Google code, which you'll find below this video in the little information section. I'll also have a link to another video that gives you a little bit more information if you're interested in it. And if you have any questions, we will have a live question and answer session next Tuesday from 11 to 12 p.m. On 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'm sorry, on the link which is on the Google Classroom. So if you're interested in joining the class, go to the Google Classroom, attend the session, which is the link is in the Google Classroom, but the link will also be provided for you to attend. If you're not in the Google Classroom, don't worry. And I'll answer any questions you have there, even stuff that we've talked about already. I will be more than happy to give you a little bit more information than what we have talked about today. But again, I'd love to see you guys in my class next year. I'd love to answer all your questions that you might have for me. I'd like to tell you more about what this class is because, like I said, it's a very fun class to teach as well as to be a member of. The pace is rather comfortable, a little more laid back than maybe other AP classes that you might be familiar with. If you took AP US History, that moves pretty quickly. If you took AP Euro, I know that moves pretty quickly too. AP Human Geo moves a little slower. It gives us a little bit more time to work together, to go into extra activities that maybe we wouldn't have time in other classes. We do a lot of work on the internet, a lot of map work, a lot of interesting stuff that hopefully you can be a part of and you can enjoy as much as I do teaching it. So again, if you have questions, next Tuesday is the day at 11 a.m. and you can email me. My email address will also be below this video, and you can ask away and whatever you might be interested in. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and hopefully I get to talk to you again in the future. Thank you very much. Have a great staycation.